So some people are going to watch this video and they are going to say, you guys are insane.
Yes.
Because we are going to try to explain to you why the value proposition of Newport Beach is so incredible. We're going to try to say that for the price, Newport gets you more for your money than anywhere else in the world in terms of this is one of the best places that you could ever live in the world, and it only costs this much. That's what we're going to talk about right now. You may think we're insane, but we're going to try to convince you. So let's get started. So later on this video, we are going to get into the nitty-gritty of the actual numbers. We're going to look at the real estate around the world that is the highest in price per square foot, and we're going to compare that to Newport Beach. We're also going to compare some other cities like in Los Angeles, around Newport Beach, similar cities, just to give you an idea of what the cost is in Newport Beach compared to other cities. But first, let's just start out. For anyone who's never come to Newport Beach, or maybe you haven't spent that much time here, maybe you've only vacationed, let's just talk about just how awesome Newport is. Because whenever, we don't live in Newport, sadly, but whenever we're there, Sean's with a client, or we're filming, or we're just there with friends, I always think to myself, this is the nicest, okay, I'm gonna have to swear here and then we're gonna bleep it out. This is the nicest city I've ever been in my life. It is so nice. I mean, it's so beautiful. So Sean grew up in Newport. Do you want to just talk about Newport?
Yeah, well, I just remember as a kid, my dad just going, he was dead set on moving to Newport. And I mean, obviously I was little at the time, so I didn't really get it. But growing up through there and just appreciating and actually being away from there. I think that's, because obviously you don't know what you got until it's gone, right?
For
so
sure.
you kind of being away from there and then finding yourself there regularly, like through showings or like going to restaurants or whatever, whatever you do. Going,
or just hanging out.
Just hanging
with
out.
Our kids, yeah.
Yeah, you're just going, it's so nice here.
Yeah.
It's just, and they're I'm trying to find any sort of anything
True
wrong.
flaw.
Yeah,
True
you're
flaw.
going what is wrong with this place? Because I can't find anything. It's beautiful. The weather's fantastic. It's relatively easy access to get to wherever you need to go to. It itself is a job center itself. It's got an airport right next door. It's got beautiful homes, amazing harbors, amazing beaches. It has everything. It's unbelievable. And it's just, again, it's crazy and going, well, okay, we can't, we kind of compare Newport to, let's say, the cities around it or whatever. And going, we got to spread our wings here and going, Newport is one of those prime cities in the entire world. Really, that's what it compares to.
So before we continue, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Courtney Dezad.
And I'm Sean Dezad.
And we are licensed real estate agents here in the state of California.
Yeah, and if you're watching this channel, you're probably thinking, wow, Sean, I love Orange County. I love the glitz. I love the glamour. I love the weather. I can't wait to move out there. Now, the problem is that I am not local. I may be out of the country. And so I don't know the first thing to do. And I totally get that. That's why you want to reach out to us, because that's why we can have that phone call where we can really kind of get granular about what you're looking for. We can be your boots on the ground here to find you that perfect home.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, let's talk about the sheer beauty of it. I mean, Newport Harbor, one of the most beautiful harbors I have ever seen. I mean, we've gone around the world to the Mediterranean, seen other harbors and been like, yeah, those are nice. I personally think Newport's better. Newport has some really, really awesome big beaches, great surfing, and it has, as all of coastal Southern California has, the best weather in the world, bar none. No place else in the world is going to beat the weather of Newport Beach.
Yeah, for sure. I grew up in a house, a pretty nice house, but it didn't have air conditioning and then so it didn't need it. So your winters are mild, your summers are mild. Not to say that it doesn't have hot summers, hot few days out of the year for sure. But again, it's just so nice there, and I feel like you're glossing over these amazing features. Newport's harbor, let's put this in perspective. It's one of the largest residential harbors in the country. There's no commercial tankers and all that stuff. And you can, you're doing you can do a 90-minute cruise if you want to, and really just kind of take in what this harbor has to offer, because you can go kayaking, you can go paddleboarding. Obviously, you can have your dinghy, you can your Duffy boat or whatever. You can go
your nice huge yacht.
Or your nice huge yacht. It does have those too. You have so if you want harbor living, you've got that. But what's crazy is that literally a certain portion of it, 200 yards across a strip of land, you have beautiful sandy beaches. And these beaches are awesome. I mean, okay, let's put it this way. It doesn't have that turquoise sand.
No.
But It's
turquoise water.
Yeah, the turquoise water.
And
the
white shell sand.
Yeah,
no.
so it doesn't have the white sandy beaches.
It's the quartz sand.
Yeah, which I have no issues with. Like, it doesn't really bother me. Like, and so if you want like surfing, bodyboarding, like you have so many options in the ocean itself, because these beaches are wide too. Because obviously a lot of times you'll see, like, I've been to Waikiki. I'm going, this is Waikiki Beach. Like it's like this narrow strip. It's kind of ridiculous, really. Whereas Newport's beaches are pretty wide. I mean, it's nice. It's relatively easy parking for beach access. So you have a ton of homes that actually can be beachfront or harborfront, or they could actually be in the back bay too. So you're talking about another water feature. We also have the back bay, which is this ecological reserve that's for migrating birds and stuff like that. But like it's a great place to actually go on runs and like go ride your bike and all that stuff. So again, like the natural features in Newport are unbelievable.
Yeah, and then let's just talk about ease of access, because most of the time beach cities, like for example, I'm from San Diego originally, and La Jolla is always like, well, it means the jewel, and everyone's always like, oh, La Jolla, it's the jewel, right? It's the beach city everyone wants to be in. That is true, but it is so hard to get to. And similarly, like Laguna Beach, which similar prices to Newport Beach.
Yeah, and a beautiful city.
A beautiful city. I'm not knocking Laguna. Laguna is awesome. I love Laguna. But if there's any knock against it, it's that it's hard to get in and out. There's a lot of traffic getting in and out. You have to take the 133. It's kind of a nightmare.
Yeah.
From that perspective. Like once you're in Laguna, like I'm going to be honest, I actually like Laguna better than Newport.
Oh my goodness.
So if you're like work from home, or you don't have to go to work every day, like Laguna, honestly, it's nicer than
well, I wouldn't say it's nicer. It's a great city.
Great.
So yeah, I'm not gonna fight too much about Laguna being on similar footing with Newport.
Yeah. But yeah, getting it out of Laguna, absolute nightmare. But then let's also talk about the jobs, right? Newport Beach is a job center for Orange County. So it's a lot of, executives live in Newport because the jobs that they work at are literally right there. And a big medical industry as well. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, you got, so you have these hubs like Newport Center / Fashion Line, which actually is a mall we'll get to later. But so Newport Center, also right by John Wayne Airport, a ton of office buildings out there. So it's, again, just because also you have the airport, so John Wayne Airport, which is right here as well, it's not, it's a kind of semi-regional airport. It does fly to Canada and Mexico, but it also flies actually all over the country as well. It actually is a very convenient airport, and actually the best airport you could actually go through, go in and out of, actually.
Yeah.
If you want convenience and just not dealing with hassle, you want to try to go to John Wayne Airport if you can. So it's a great airport, and it's you border it. It's it's right next to Newport Beach.
Yeah, and not to say that, in terms of ease of access, not to say that Newport doesn't have traffic, doesn't have crowds, doesn't have, difficult parking. It certainly does, but in comparison to a lot of other beach cities, at least that we're familiar with, I feel like Newport has the least amount of traffic compared to, Laguna or, La Jolla. It's not, quite as bad as some of these other places that you go to.
Yeah, it's never going to be amazing. But again, also, if we're comparing this to, again, the cities that it's in its weight class that we feel that it is, the Parises, the Monacos.
Okay, so we'll get started with that. We're going to compare it to the big cities.
Yeah, but we're just not talking about
we're just talking about
all those places have terrible traffic.
Okay, so let's go. Let's talk about it. Okay. So, let me see. So we got a list from Elite Traveler, the most expensive real estate in the world per square foot. We're going to talk about these cities. We haven't necessarily been to all of them, but we're going to talk about what the per square foot is and whether or not we think that Newport is better. Of course, you can comment down below and tell us that we're completely insane.
Yeah, and if you have an idea of what's the best bang for your buck,
yes,
comment below too. We're always open to it. We're just throwing out here, hey, Newport, people will automatically think Newport super expensive. And again, we're not going to dispute that it's not expensive. Yeah. But look what it's offers and look what it compares to.
Yeah, okay, so according to this list, obviously things change, but it tends to be around this price. So Monaco or Monaco, depending on how you pronounce it, in Europe is the price per square foot for its real estate is $5,250 per square foot. So Newport Beach is $1,400 per square foot. Not that it's not insanely expensive. That is insanely expensive. But if you're looking at Monaco compared to Newport Beach, Monaco is $5,250. Newport Beach is $1,400. And we've actually been to Monaco, and Monaco is really nice.
It is beautiful. I mean,
I will say that.
Yes.
It is nice. But I wouldn't say it's
Triple?
necessarily, triple Newport. And is it even, like, necessarily better than Newport?
Like, almost quadruple. Like,
I would say, like, it's similar to Newport. Like,
actually, it does
in terms of its beauty and...
So it's got harbors, it's got the weather. So I think that has a lot of things going for it. Honestly, as far as the industry goes, like, that's not going to be, like, easy to do. I mean, obviously... It's billionaires living in Monaco. I guess the industry comes to them, I suppose.
Yeah.
But not that Newport doesn't have its own share of billionaires. We got billionaires here too. It's just that Monaco, obviously, this is where people flock to for tax purposes.
Yes, for sure. Obviously, Monaco's in the Mediterranean, and we have a Mediterranean climate as well. And actually, I would say that our Mediterranean climate is just slightly better than the Mediterranean climate in the actual Mediterranean.
Yeah.
Like over there, it rains a little bit more than here, and it's a little bit colder in the winter, and I would say a little bit hotter. Of course, we're splitting hairs, but if you're talking about...
We're talking about best weather in the world.
Talking about best weather in the world, like Southern California...
Hairs will be split.
Is a slightly better than in the actual Mediterranean.
Yes.
So number 2 is Hong Kong at 4,530 feet. I've never been to Hong Kong. Oh, you've been, right? And my sister's been many times. She loves Hong Kong.
It's great. Oh, I can see why it's expensive. I mean, it's beautiful. Yeah. But again, like triple the cost. Again, Hong Kong's great. Well, otherwise, it's not as good as Newport.
No,
I mean,
it's not even close.
I mean, so it's not as good as Newport's weather. Again, industry, certainly Hong Kong has industry. But Newport, again, remember, when you're in Newport, okay, so not only do you have a job hub in Newport itself, but then Irvine, so the Spectrum in Irvine is also like the biggest job hub in Orange County. Mm-hmm. And not that far down the way is Los Angeles, which is a massive, massive job hub. So if you're looking, again, Newport has, access to all of that. So that's where, that's what's super important to, reference here.
And then you also have to understand that when you're dealing with Hong Kong, this is like a giant city, right? So if you're dealing with a comparable property, like what you're paying for in Newport, if you get that same property in Hong Kong, it's going to be, 3 times the price?
it could probably run up,
yeah,
pretty
because
high.
When you're dealing with, the average price per square foot, you're dealing with, the other parts of Hong Kong that aren't as nice as, the super high end,
Yeah, if you're, harbor front and all that stuff, it's probably going to run you a little bit.
Yeah, so again, comparable property, like what you get for Newport in $10 million, I'm guessing in Hong Kong probably costs you around $30 million. Number 3 is New York. Now, I have lived in New York, so their average price per square foot is $2,580 compared to $1,400 price per square foot for Newport Beach. And again, comparables, right? If you are buying a $10 million property in Newport, what it's going to cost you in New York? Honestly, I don't even know.
For a house in a house.
Even just square footage. Square footage.
Yeah, you're saying square footage, but I'm just saying the closest thing you have an equivalent is a brownstone.
Yeah.
And those aren't cheap.
Yeah.
Those are crazy expensive in New York City. And also New York City. Oh, good.
Let's be real. Any day I'd live in Newport over New York City.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we're just, they'll throw it out there. But I'm just saying, if you're getting the equivalent, let's say it's a brownstone, it's the closest, that's basically a townhome, really not a freestanding structure, which, again, Newport, what's nice is that you're not stuck with a bunch of high rises and stuff like that. You have actually homes, 1 or 2 story homes, or maybe something that's along the cliff, so maybe a couple, a few floors. But these are detached structures on the more pricey end of things. And they actually have a decent amount of land, again, considering that you're in one of the most prime locations in the world.
So next is Geneva, Switzerland. That's $2,250 per square foot. Again, Newport is $1,400 per square foot. I've never been to Geneva, but I mean, Switzerland's a beautiful country. But again, comparable prices, right? You're dealing with comparables. Newport, what you get for your money compared to if you got the same home, you put it in Switzerland, it would be much more. Number 5 is Tokyo, and that's $2,220 per square foot compared to Newport is $1,400. I have been wanting to go to Tokyo for many, many years. My best friend has been to Tokyo many times because she's a professional tennis player. She loves Tokyo, loves Japan. But again, you're talking about, because Tokyo is a huge city, right? So when you're talking about the comparable property, similar location in terms of prime location, similar square footage, similar amenities, it's going to be significantly more in Tokyo versus Newport. So
yeah, exactly.
Number 6 is Shanghai, $2,200 per square foot. Again, Newport is $1,400 per square foot. Number 7, London, $2,090 per square foot. And again, this is a giant city, right? So if you're getting the same property, a comparable property,
along the River Thames or something.
Yeah, or in St. James Park or something like that.
Yeah, that would be cheap.
Yeah. It would probably be, I'm guessing, $50 million, and then in Newport it'd be $10 million. So
yeah,
comparably, Newport is a deal, although me personally, just because I love London, I probably would rather live in London.
Oh, London is beautiful, actually. It is a beautiful city. But again, I don't know if it's 5 times beautiful or even double beautiful.
Yeah, we're talking about value here, right? Like, is it 5 times as valuable? Like, I don't think so. Number 8 on the list is Sydney, Australia, 1,990 versus 1,400 for Newport Beach. So I've never been to Sydney, but I've heard it's fantastic.
Yeah, your best friend has.
Yes, my best friend loves Australia. So yes. And then if we're talking about just like similar prices, so at the time of this recording, price per square foot for Newport Beach is
comparable to that of Beverly Hills.
Comparable to Beverly Hills, and I hate LA. I don't know. I would take Newport over Beverly Hills any day. So
yeah, I mean, Beverly Hills is a beautiful city. It's just that traffic in LA is so bad. It's and to get to Beverly Hills in particular it's so bad, like, to get in there.
It's so bad. And then, like, Palm Beach, Florida is a little bit more expensive than Newport. It's $1,500 per square foot. Laguna Beach, $1,700 per square foot. Again, Laguna is just as nice as Newport. I mean, let's be real. But just for pure practicality, it is harder to get in and out of.
Well, that and also it's not Job Hub. It doesn't have, other things. It doesn't have the harbor. Again, we're just comparing the totality of what Newport has. Like, so, like, if you look at certain things about Laguna Beach has, it's great. Beautiful beaches, like homes along the cliff and all that stuff. Beautiful. But Newport, and like beautiful ocean views, Newport's got all that, plus harbor living. And again, a significant harbor. I can't stress this enough. This is a big harbor. Like, this is not what, for instance, Dana Point, beautiful city as well. They have like a little marina thing. It's just nothing close to the same size as Newport's. And in most other harbors of this size or larger, they have commercial, container boats and, the container ships and stuff like that. It's a very different vibe. Like, this is just a beautiful harbor. I think that's really what separates, Newport. Plus the Back Bay. I mean, that's a beautiful aspect of it, too.
Well, and also I think, like how Sean was saying, also what separates Newport is it's got its job hub as well, very convenient job hub, and it also has the airport, very easy access to that. And then, I mean, it just has, like, the shopping and dining that you have there. It's like a big city, but you're getting, like, this charming feel of living in a beach city while also being in a big city. And then just comparing it to Malibu. Malibu is $1,600 per square foot versus Newport, $1,400.
Beautiful city.
Yeah, Malibu's beautiful.
Just
very
kind of
far
out of
away,
the way, though. Yeah. It's kind of out there. And again, that's just one of those things where I feel like Newport offers just a better value.
Yes. That's the whole thing. It's like, we're not saying Newport is cheap by any stretch of the imagination. We're just saying, like, what you get for the price compared to other highly, highly desirable areas around the world is kind of insane. I mean, I think Monaco is like the perfect example. Is Monaco that much better than Newport?
Yeah.
No, it's not. So, like, the value that you get with Newport is insane.
And remember, we are licensed realtors here in the state of California, so whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, what you want to do is when you give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email.
Or you can reach out to us via WhatsApp. However you want to get a hold of us, we've got your back.